Let's go to page 364. This lesson is 8-3, and this is to divide polynomials. The objective of this lesson is to divide one polynomial by another polynomial. Now, before we get into division, let's review a little bit about some of the basics of the division. So on this page over here, so the names are, so when you divide, so when you have a polynomial, divide by polynomial, okay, you're going to end up with a quotient plus a remainder. So if you cross multiply by the divisor, so dividend would be equal to quotient times divisor plus remainder. Okay, the quotient, so when you divide, see the long division, this number inside over here, so this number over here, this is called a dividend. Okay, so dividend is this number right over here, so that's dividend. Okay, and this is the divisor. Okay, so divisor is this number over here. Quotient is this number right over here. 62 is your quotient, and remainder is a 5. Okay, and so over here, what it's saying is that the quotient, the 62, the quotient times the divisor plus the remainder will equal to the dividend. Okay. So again, this is some basics, but a lot of things is very common sense. Okay, so let's go over the example 1. Okay. So this is the long division. So you have an x cubed minus 5x squared plus 4x minus 2 divided by x minus 2. So let's go and write this in. So this is already correct order, so that's nice. So whenever you're doing the polynomial divisions, make sure everything's all arranged in order. So same thing with the divisor. Okay. Then what you need to do is, when you start to divide, you just kind of think of each term as like a digit. So what you want to do is, you want to just focus on the first term or the first digit. Okay, so you ask yourself, x times what will give you x cubed? Okay, the answer would be x squared. Okay, so again, x times x squared. So x times x squared will give you x cubed. So now you let go and you go and multiply out. Okay, so when you distribute, this will give you x cubed. So this should, nice thing about polynomial is that this should always the same, so that when you subtract, it will cancel out. Okay, then you have to distribute, so this would be minus 2x squared. Okay, so after that, you go ahead and subtract. Now, when doing a subtraction, make sure you put in parentheses and you put subtraction. Okay, and the reason you put in parentheses, you just remind yourself that you have to subtract each of the term. Okay, so again, the first term will always cancel out. So this x cubed minus x cubed will cancel out. Now negative 5. So when you subtract, you just worry about the coefficient. So negative 5 minus negative 2 will becomes negative 5 plus 2 will give you negative 3. Okay. So make sure you know how to subtract negative numbers. So after you subtract, then you drop the next term, or think of it as a next digit. So plus 4x. So you just keep repeating the same thing over and over. So you can cover up the later term. Just look at the first term. Okay. So you can ask yourself, x times what will give you negative 3x squared? The answer is negative 3x. Right? You can check. X times negative 3x will give you negative 3x squared. Okay. And you have to kind of distribute, right? So just use this one. So this will give you negative 3x squared. Next one. Again, use your fingers to help you to keep track. So make things a little bit easier when you're able to use your fingers to visualize. So we multiply, this will give you plus 6x. Okay? And nice thing about polynomial, when you're dividing polynomial, is that this will always go down in order. It will never stay the same. It will never go up. It will always go down. So you get x squared, and you go x1. It will always go down in order. Okay? So put parentheses, subtract. So negative 3x squared minus negative 3x squared. Again, when you have the same thing, it's going to get canceled out. Next one is 4 minus 6 will give you negative 2. Okay? So again, once you've done subtraction, you drop the next term. Okay, again, just repeat the same thing over and over. Okay, so cover that up, cover this up, look at the first term. Okay, so x times what will give you negative 2x? The answer is negative 2, right? So again, negative 2 times x will give you negative 2x. So when you distribute, so this will be negative 2x, and this become plus 4. Okay? So again, you multiply, and then you go ahead and draw the line, put parentheses, subtract. So this, again, first term will always cancel out. Okay, that's the nice thing about dividing polynomials. So you're going to get negative 2 minus 4 will give you negative 6. Okay. And so when you write, so this will equal to, so you want to write your quotient, so it'd be x squared minus 3x minus 2. Now this over here, okay, if it's minus, you put a minus in front. If it's plus, you just put plus. And it'd be 6 over x minus 2. Okay, and so this would be your answer. So the remainder, so if they ask you for individual part, your quotient is equal to x squared minus 3x minus 2. So this is your quotient. Okay, so that's your quotient. And your remainder will equal to negative 6. Okay, so again, that's your quotient, that's your remainder. Okay, and if you want to write the whole answer, this is how you write your answer. Okay. And in the book, it asks you to check. We're not going to do the checking. If you want to, you can do it yourself. Okay, you just multiply this and you add this, and we give you that. Okay, let's go to example 2. Okay, so you're dividing. So again, I'm going to just go and use the long division already. And make sure it's arranged in order. So you want to arrange according to the x. So you're going to get 3x to the 4 minus 2ax to the 3. Again, these have to go down in order. Then you have to do the x2. So it'd be minus 9a squared x to the 2. Okay, and there's no x, so you have to skip a space for it. Okay, so plus 4a to the 4. So first thing you have to do is arrange everything in order, and if there's a missing term, you have to reserve a space for it. So this is x to the 4, x to the 3, x to the 2, x to the 1, and x to the 0 means no x. Okay, and you have to do same thing over here. You have to arrange this in order, so it'd be 3x squared plus ax minus 2a squared. Okay, so again, you got x to the 2 power, x to the 1 power, and no x. Okay, so now when you're doing a division, again, just look at the very first term. Don't worry about the other one over here. So just look at the first term over here. So ask yourself, 3x squared times what will give you 3x to the 4? The answer is x squared. Okay? So again, 3x squared times x squared give you 3x to the 4. So you just repeat the same thing. So you just go and multiply. So this will be 3x to the 4 plus ax to the 3 minus 2a squared x squared. Okay. Again, I cover things up so that you don't get distracted. Okay, distracted by something, by other things. Okay, so now you draw the line, put parentheses, and subtract. So this minus this is 0. Again, the first term is always cancel out. Then you're going to get negative 2 minus 1 will give you negative 3. Okay, so you can just focus on the coefficients. So negative 9 minus negative 2 become negative 9 plus 2 will give you negative 7. So you can make sure everything's all lined up. Then after that, you drop the next term, which is 0, so you don't have to worry about. Okay? And then after that, again, you just look at the first term. Just look at the first term. Look at the first term. So 3x squared times what will give you negative 3ax to the 3. Okay, well, let's see. So again, when you think things start to get complicated, you take out the sign, the number, then the alphabet. So sign, positive times negative will give you negative. And the coefficient, 3 times 1 will give you 3. So you don't need any number, okay, because there are other things over here. Now the a, so you need to have an a, right? Because, so again, 3 times negative a will give you negative 3a, right? And the variable will always go down in order. So x squared, then x to the 2 would be x to the 1, right? And you can also check. X squared times x will give you x to the 3, okay? So when you multiply, the first term will always cancel out. If not, that means you're doing something wrong. So you multiply, again, sign is negative, the number is 3, the alphabet is a, x to the 3, okay? So that's the first one. The next one, okay, you have to go to the next one. So after you're done with this one, you have to go to the next one. So you multiply, so you're going to get negative a squared x squared. Next one would be plus 2a to the 3x. Okay, so you can take your time, don't rush. Okay, make sure you do it correctly. So again, this subtract will cancel out. Now you got -7 minus -1, so it becomes +1, so it becomes -6. Okay, and 0 minus 2 will give you -2. So after you subtract, you drop the next one down. Okay, so you can just repeat the same thing over and over. So you can look at the first term only. Look at the first term. So again, so 3 times what will give you -6 would be -2, right? Okay, and notice the other variable will increase. Over here you got a to the 0, you're going to get a to the 1. Next one would be a to the 2, okay, and no x. Okay, so you can just check, right? So 3 times -2 give you -6, and there's no a, so you need to get a squared, and you got x squared, so you don't need a variable. So again, that's the nice thing about the polynomial is one variable will go down, will decrease, the other variable will be going up. So notice x to the 2, x to the 1, x to the 0, right? Going down. This one you start with x to the a to the 0, a to the 1, a to the 2. Okay. Okay, so now let's go multiply. So again, when you multiply this one here. Okay, so this would be -6a squared x squared. This one would be minus 2a to the 3x. This one would be plus 4a to the 4. And this is kind of nice, okay, because they're all the same. So when you subtract, you get the remainder of 0. Okay, so for this one, your answer would be just x squared minus ax minus 2a squared. Okay, so this is the quotient. The quotient is equal to that.